I wake up at 5:37. Dream 1. I was on Facebook groups. I was looking to get views. I shared memes like passengers on a plane had to arrive hot, so the same thing was to replace them with ketchup sauces. Then I think of music videos like Blackpink, where we see Jennie in it with a pink tank, and I envy them. They managed to break through on the internet. I wake up on 7:25, Dream 2. I was discussing with friends the fact that once I had really forgotten everything in one day, perhaps because I had drank too much the day before, which never happens to me. And I had literally had a very bad trip. A lot had happened. And then I find myself in a car with a friend from high school. I don't know what I'm doing here. I forgot everything. I'm all alone in my car near the highway, and I see people everywhere walking around. There is a small pedestrian zone which is probably connected to villages, maybe 50 meters after the highway. I see them going to a place and tell myself I'm going to go there. It must be some kind of festival. In fact, the atmosphere is quite good. I go out and climb higher, wondering what's going on behind this little hill. Later, I pass by a church where a mass is beginning. I go through the front of the right, where there was an entrance, which is funny since you arrive in front of the people. The interior of the church is mostly beige or brown, stone or wood, with chandeliers. There are quite a few people, maybe 200 or 300 people. It seems like it's a sort of exceptional mass, as if it were happening for a pilgrimage or some sort of World Youth Day, an event where I have never been in real life, but would like to see what it's like once. In fact, I love this idea of doing events in the middle of nature or near highways, for example, which bring together a lot of people. A bit like festivals, I find that there is an incredible vibe. What's funny is that the church inside is leaning in relief. The altar is perhaps between 5 and 10 meters in height compared to the back of the church. I'm just passing through for once. I tell myself that I'll stay and try to enjoy it, but no. Like every time, after a minute, I'm bored to death, and so I leave from behind. Then that's where I meet my high school friend on foot, in the street, maybe near a place where we park bikes behind the church. We are in a small Alsatian village, but if we had to compare it to the real world, it's not a day like any other. It's exactly a place and a time where an event called the Slow Up takes place. A day of regional activity in June, when thousands of residents tour around 10 villages by bike and passing near the vineyards. I have already done it several times. It is magnificent. Well, it's exactly this atmosphere in the dream. I meet this friend in the village street, but deep down in my headphone too, and in the background, something is constantly happening. It's not a dead street like this is the case 99% of days in real life. During a slow up, there are hundreds of pedestrians and cyclists in the street. There's dynamic music. It's a very good atmosphere. Most continue their journey towards the rest of the route in other villages. Others stop at activity stands. Others chat, drink. It's true that if I hadn't written down my dream when I woke up, I probably would never have noticed it. That is, that it was during an event that inspired me in real life. And meanwhile, I'm going through my bad trip where I forgot everything. We walk around the city with my friend, and on several occasions he has his girlfriend on the phone, and he also talks to me about mine. I'm in the funk. I'm just following the course of the dream. Then I tell myself that I'm perhaps a little too far from home, and that I would like to go back because I have lost my memory and I still don't know what I'm doing here, and I would like to get my bearings again. And what's funny is that the dream is at least a little coherent. I told this friend that I had no memory of the day before and that made him laugh, and he teased me as if he was also with me the day before and that he had some memories of what I did. We are lost in the city and I'm trying to get back to help me get home, and he tells me he's going to come home with me too. My friend shows me the car he found. It's a white C15 parked on the left and he has the key. I drive. I have a GPS and it shows me two paths, one through the town and the other through the entrance to the town, which is not far from us. We choose this entrance because it is closer and the other probably contained a toll. But there are a lot of pedestrians. But we end up passing, if I remember correctly, even if afterward we don't go very far by car. It's more our bodies that move in the rest of the dream to visualize the places, or the whole environment changes very quickly without us moving. I have already heard from Mark Coburn that what really happens for a dreamer is that his etheric or astral body leaves the physical body during sleep. It floats 2 or 3 meters above and finds himself hypnotized in a dream bubble all around him, which has an objective reality and which true astral travelers can observe. Therefore, those who really succeed in leaving their body in complete lucidity with practice. So to return to the dream, we are in the car with my friend. We look at the GPS and there are 2 ways to return, either through Strasbourg in France or through Germany. Then my friend has been talking to his girlfriend on the phone since a while ago. And at that moment, it was like we were going back in time and reliving the moment he met his girlfriend, but we're not changing location. We're still on the street near the edge of town with pedestrians, the bicycle festival, or the vineyards. But we don't have to go back. We can continue the festival if we want, but night will fall and I found myself several kilometers from my house without me know how. At that moment, my friend found 2 girls on the phone from some kind of customer service or tourist office to help us get home. Then the 2 girls on the phone help us by explaining to us with a visualization that there is a rock on the river near the region, which is like a giant compass and can serve as a teleportation platform, a launch platform or whatever, what to help us get home. The principle of the giant compass on the rock or the citadel is that it oscillates and we must choose the direction closest to our destination. It only has 6 or 8 directions and all towards the west. It is the second that we must take to the southwest, which is the closest to my city. And at that moment it's night. We found ourselves on the rock near the compass, and it's as if we were a little higher geographically. We are several kilometers above the planet. We see the river below us, which is black in color at night. We see the city and the region in front of us shining with all its yellow lamps, but yet it is not inaccessible. It is as if we could more or less jump and glide with gravity like the moon, and arrive in a few seconds to the places we observe, which are in reality tens of kilometers away. The fact that I dream of this compass probably comes from the fact that I saw a similar one in a video that talked about the video game Outer Wilds in space. In short, in the dream story, one girl on the phone will later be my friend's girlfriend, and the other girl will be mine, even if I don't have one. A bit like the story of the YouTubers McFly and Carlito, who met their wives almost at the same time. I wake up on the way home at 7:25. I don't think I even made it to my house. But for once, the dream journal helped me remember a lot of details and see a certain coherence in the dream, like in a film.